coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
This week, our First Alert weather team has been forecasting wet snow and wind for today's weather, and that's exactly what we've seen. The snow started this morning and kept at it much of the day. This was the scene in South Columbia this afternoon as some of that snow started accumulating. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jordan Berger. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Let's get right to today's snow. We have live team coverage. KOMU 8's Ian Russell is live on Highway 63. He talked to road crews as they work to clear those roads today. And weathercaster Jacob Vanderpool is taking a look at what roads look like right now. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Kenton Jawicki for the latest details on that. Kenton.
Yeah, Jordan, let's look at live.3 First Alert radar first here. And you can see where the snow is still coming down, at least where it's showing up on radar. I can tell you, though, even where there are some locations where it's not showing up on radar anymore, it's still coming down. Radar beams and snow sometimes don't mix too well. And I can tell you, it was just outside moments ago, and it's still snowing in Columbia, at least south of Columbia. So even though it's not showing up here, some of these locations are still at least seeing some light snow or at least some flurries coming down. So not quite the end yet. Main roads right now are not looking too bad. Down in Cole County, starting to see some covered roads, but when we look at our visibility, that's also a little bit decreased, where we are seeing some heavier snow banding, mainly south of Interstate 70. And then when we talk about our current winds, sustained at 20 miles per hour in Columbia, and we're looking at those gusts mainly off over into southwestern and western Missouri. So that's some good news there. Some of that wind starting to go down. Let's look hour by hour overnight tonight. Again, this is slowly going to come to an end eventually, when we're just then dealing with this last band that's going to move in overnight around that midnight hour to 3 a.m. That should be moving through for a last little bit of snow. But of course, we want to see what the roads are looking like live. So we're going to go out to Jacob Vanderpool. Jacob, you're in Ashland right now. What have you been seeing this afternoon?
Kenton, you're absolutely right with that heavier banding of snow. We have seen that here in this area, and we just saw another band a few minutes ago. But what is being seen around here is the main roads look just fine. Even the city streets look fine. But if you look at these residential streets right behind me, that's where the snow and the slush are tending to pile up. So if you do have to be out and about on those roads tonight, you're going to want to take it easy and be careful. Otherwise, though, the main roads, again, look to be in fairly good shape. It'll be the residential streets and the side streets that are going to pose the majority of the problems. And then again, when we get those heavier bands rotating through, that is going to be when we can see the snow pile up on those roads. Reporting live from Ashland, I'm weathercaster Jacob Vanderpool, KOMU 8 News.
Thank you very much. And an important note is also that our temperatures, they're going to be going down a few degrees below freezing tonight, and that would then freeze this slush onto the roads if it's left untreated. So KOMU 8's Ian Russell spoke with Public Works today. And Ian, crews are watching for that refreeze tonight, right?
Yeah, Ken, they absolutely are. And really, overnight is the most important time they're going to watch this, because those overnight hours is really going to determine if those crews are going to have to be back here tomorrow to keep plying the snow that's coming down. I'm sure you can see some of this coming down right now. And I did sit down with Boone County Road and Bridge, talk about what they were seeing and what road crews are seeing and those road conditions. Wind, snow, and slush, all coming with the latest snowfall.
So the road situations aren't that bad. It's a nice wet snow.
Road crews worked overnight to keep roads cleared ahead of that morning commute.
We called the night shift in Thursday night to start pre-treating roads so they wouldn't be as bad Friday morning.
22 trucks for Boone County Road and Bridge, but those trucks have a lot of roads and bridges to cover.
Roughly, there's close to 800 miles in Boone County, probably 350 paved, so.
And there's still a lot to get through.
Well, right now, since most of the roads are clear, we'll run out and check them one more time. The night shift is coming in, and the night superintendent will make a determination on if the day guys have to come in tomorrow.
As of this afternoon, MoDOT says main highways like I-70 are mostly clear. But that doesn't mean everything has been fine. Scenes like this one in Cooper County are a reminder for those winter weather basics.
Be careful, be patient with us, and we'll get there if, you need us out there.
Now, Jennings did tell me that since we've seen a little bit less snowfall this winter and this time around, that they've been able to use a little bit less of that salt and other melting materials that they'd normally use on the road. And again, Kenton, just depending on what happens tonight is going to determine if those crews are back on the road tomorrow.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. And again, those main roads are doing okay because of the work of those road crews today. So thank you so much for that. And we'll, of course, keep watching this for you. But again, right now, Cole County is the main county that's seeing any covered roads right now along Highway 54. And then when you watch those residential roads that are still slushy, too, for those to potentially freeze overnight. I have more in the 8-day forecast coming up. Jordan.
All right, Kenton, thanks so much. Well, the Missouri State Highway Patrol responded to a crash in Cooper County today. These pictures are from Troop F. You can see a semi overturned on the outer road of westbound Interstate 70. MSHP says thankfully there were no injuries with that crash. The state is moving forward to activate another tier of people in vaccine rollouts, but Boone County won't be making that move with it. Let's check in with KOMU 8's Annabelle Thorpe. She's in the newsroom with more on why Boone County is waiting to allow another tier of people to get that vaccine. Annabelle?
Jordan, the state is moving ahead to activate vaccinations for people in Phase 1B Tier 2 on Monday. The tier in question, shown in the column you're about to see, includes people 65 years and older. Wrong video there, but it is for people 65 years and older and people with, there it is, with certain medical conditions. But on one of the key details, that's if vaccinators have the means to vaccinate more people. The Boone County Health Department told me Boone County vaccinators do not have enough resources to make it happen.
It says that that is dependent on vaccine supply. And so we do not have the vaccine supply to move on to that group. We're still working through 1A and now Tier 1 of 1B.
The health department and Boone Hospital Center couldn't tell me how many more vaccines would be necessary to activate Tier 2 in Boone County. The health department also said it's unclear how long it will take for those people in Tier 2 to be able to get those vaccines. But once they are able to, it will take a while to get through all the people in that tier. This is upsetting to one Columbia resident I spoke with today who thought she had the option of getting the vaccine as soon as Monday.
Found out that people my age aren't going to be able to do that on Monday. And that light at the end of the tunnel seems to be getting further away.
The health department told me the focus is on getting more vaccines and getting through Phase 1A and Phase 1B Tier 1, which we're in now. To date, the state officials say 410,000 vaccines have been shipped to Missouri and 190,000 shots have been administered. Reporting in the newsroom, Annabelle Thorpe, KOMU 8 News.
All right, Annabelle, thank you. Let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers. Boone County reported 95 new cases today. The county also reported one new death, its fourth death this week. That patient was older than 80. Across the state, officials reported more than 2,200 cases today. The state also reported 28 new deaths. The state's 7-day positivity rate is down slightly from yesterday to 15.2%. But remember, the WHO recommends that number be at 5% or lower over a 2-week period. A Capital Region Medical Center is changing hours for its COVID-19 drive-through testing starting tomorrow. Drive-through testing will now be available Monday through Friday, 8 to noon, and Saturday from 9 to noon. Remember, Capital Region requires a doctor's order before you can get a COVID test. The IRS is warning taxpayers of a new wave of COVID-19 scams as the agency delivers a new round of stimulus checks. Some of the common scams include text messages, emails, mail, and social media messages with keywords such as coronavirus, COVID-19, and stimulus, requesting personal information from you, as well as ads selling fake at-home COVID-19 testing kits as well. So if you think you're being targeted, the IRS says you should report them. We have contact information over on KOMU.com. Also on our website, we have the latest on COVID-19 across mid-Missouri. There you can take a look at hospitalizations and the latest numbers from your community. Well, today, the Columbia man accused of killing his wife appeared in court. The latest on his case.
And live.3 First Alert radar throughout the state of Missouri still showing this wide swath of snowfall coming down. And again, some of these areas here that it's showing no snow, it is still coming down. I can assure you that. We're going to take a look at this snowfall for the rest of the night and what you can expect the next 8 days coming up.
Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU 8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by Jose Jalapenos.
Fan has been the co-host of Wheel for 38 seasons.
You haven't aged a day?
But did you know she first appeared on a different game show?
Isn't that interesting?
Hear the story on the next Wheel.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KOMU 8. When severe weather hits, stay informed on any device wherever you are with live streaming coverage from the First Alert Weather Team on the KOMU 8 Weather and Traffic app, on Facebook, and on KOMU.com. Live streaming severe weather coverage you can count on. The first to alert you to severe weather. Live Doppler 8 First Alert Weather coverage you can count on.
Here's what's happening right now. The CDC now says the new COVID-19 variant that was first detected in the UK could soon be the dominant strain in the U.S. The CDC says that could be the case by March unless officials take steps to slow the spread. The variant has been detected in at least 12 states. Now, Missouri officials recently said that they have not seen that strain here yet. Researchers say this variant doesn't seem to come with more severe symptoms, but it is more contagious. Back here in mid-Missouri, Joseph Elledge attended a virtual hearing this afternoon to discuss a potential trial date. However, the court did not set a date for the trial. Judge Jacobs said he is looking to set a date for a 3-week jury trial no earlier than May. Elledge has 2 cases against him, one for the suspected murder of his wife, Mengshi Ji, and one for the suspected abuse of his daughter.
Our visibility is slowly getting a little better as we start to see this snowfall weaken a bit, heading into our evening hours as expected. Right now, Vichy looking at only 1 mile of visibility, 3 there in Lynn. I'm tracking everything. 8-day forecast coming up after the break.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by Harper Evans Wade and Nettemeyer. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, visit lawmissouri.com.
Welcome back to KOMU 8 News at 6 o'clock. Take a look at our temperatures at the door right now. You're going to notice they're right around that freezing mark, if not just above freezing in a couple of locations. About 31 there in Moberly, just below it. We're at 34 in Columbia, 35 in Jefferson City. And we look down to the Lake of the Ozarks, also still at 32 degrees. So all of this coming down again, a very wet snow. As we were talking about, it's always going to be a wet snow. Snowing all day, slushy roads, and some blowing in the wind as well. All of that turning out pretty well today. And when you look at live.3 First Alert radar, again, some of these areas that are showing up blank are still seeing some snow, but it is still all a good signifier that it is starting to come to a slow end. And a slow end, but we're still going to have a little bit tonight, because what we have is a line right here. And this line, this last banded snow line, is going to move into central Missouri overnight. So there is still some snow to come, even after this big swath that we're seeing now does get itself pushed down to the south. Here's about 10 p.m. We're starting to slowly see some of that move through. It will eventually dissipate overnight, and then we're going to be dry tomorrow. I think even after about 7 a.m. tomorrow, I'm not even expecting many flurries to be left over. It should be pretty dry, just cloudy through the rest of our day on Saturday. Now, Saturday night into Sunday, we actually could see a bit of some clearer skies move in. We're talking about some partly cloudy skies there, and that's at 7:30 a.m. Now, there's something interesting we're watching for Sunday afternoon. We'll keep you updated here tomorrow on this, but there's a slight chance that we do get just a brief either snow shower or some flurries coming through on Sunday. So at this point, we're not expecting much accumulation from it. It would only give a dusting, if anything, but don't be too surprised if you do see some flakes coming from the sky again on Sunday. And that cloud cover is going to hold on again all weekend long, besides that overnight period when the sun's not up. And that's going to be on Saturday night into Sunday morning. Might see a little bit of sunshine there for sunrise on Sunday if you want to wake up for that. 28 degrees for our low temperature tonight. Again, the snow still coming down for another couple hours, and then eventually we have that next band that's going to roll through central Missouri from the west to the east. One of the main things we're looking at is for areas that have not been treated, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, because temperatures are going to be just below freezing. It's not going to be a hard freeze on that on those slick spots, creating a hard ice, but it could certainly freeze enough that it's going to create some ice on some untreated roads and might even make some of that slush a bit harder as well. So watch for those slick spots overnight as temperatures do go eventually just below freezing, and for tomorrow morning as well. We're just above freezing then tomorrow afternoon at 34 degrees with those cloudy skies holding on, and we're going to have those gusts around 25 miles per hour tonight and tomorrow, but overall a calming in that wind. We're at 36 on Sunday. With that brief chance we could have some flurries or just a brief snow shower too as this energy tries to push out. 42 then on Monday with quite a bit of cloud cover holding on to start our new week. But if you want the sunshine, if you're waiting for it, there is some good news. There is some hope in the forecast, at least on Wednesday, for a mostly sunny sky, which would actually warm us up too. above average, about 10 degrees above average, into the upper 40s there on Wednesday. And then as we head through the rest of the week, likely cooling down by the end of it with a mix of sun and clouds and only a few chances that we could see some precipitation. We'll keep you updated on all of that, of course, right here on KOMU8. We want to get another look at what the roads are looking like out there, those current conditions. So Jacob Vanderpool, give us another update there from Ashland. What have you been seeing?
Well, Ken, what we've been seeing is more snow. I think maybe you guys can see some of these snow flurries just kind of fluttering around in the wind. Roads, again, the side roads are what we're really looking at here. Main roads look to be mostly wet, but the side roads look to have just a little bit of slush cover there, and that could pose a few problems whenever the temperature cools down later on tonight, and that kind of turns into more of a hard slush or a soft ice. So please take it easy if you're out on those side roads. But other than that, right now, the snow does indeed also look to be winding down. Reporting live from Ashland, I'm weathercaster Jacob Vanderpool with KOMU8 Storm Patrol.
All right, thank you very much, Jacob. Now, Jordan, here's a multiple choice weather IQ question for you from break time. A warm, dry wind that melts snow is called a heat miser, a snow eater, or a winter's gift.
I'd like to think it's winter's gift, helping us out with all that snow. What is it, Kenton?
The answer is B. Yeah, it's a snow eater. We're not going to see any of those warm winds coming in and melting it quite that quickly, but that's what it'd be called.
All right, Kenton, thanks so much. Well, the Chiefs will begin their playoff run on Sunday afternoon, but they may be without a key player. That's coming up next in sports.
Tonight's primetime lineup on KOMU8 in Mid-Missouri CW is brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers. Find new roads. Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU8 Sports.
The Mizzou men's basketball team will play its first game in 11 days at Texas A&M tomorrow. The Tigers pressed pause on team activities and postponed their last 2 games due to COVID-19 protocols. Mizzou resumed practice Wednesday and looks to rebound from a bad 78-63 loss to Mississippi State its last time out. As for the opponent, it's no secret Texas A&M has been more of a football school than a basketball school in recent years. But the Aggies entered tomorrow's game fresh off a 1-point road win over the same Mississippi State team that gave the Tigers trouble. Texas A&M prides itself on defense but struggles offensively. The Aggies have scored over 60 points in only 1 of their 5 conference games.
But you have to stay aggressive from start to finish. You can't be passive. You got to take opportunities. It's just a physical game. And that's simply it. You know what you're getting when you play against them. So you better be battle tested and you better strap on your helmet.
Coach Martin said the Tigers will be at full strength for tomorrow's game. Tip-off is scheduled for 12 o'clock. It's an action-packed weekend for Mid-Missouri sports fans. The Blues kick it off tonight, followed by Mizzou men's basketball tomorrow. And, of course, the reigning champion Chiefs take on the Browns in the AFC divisional round on Sunday. But the Chiefs may be without their lead running back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire did not practice today with an ankle injury, despite practicing earlier in the week. He's listed as questionable for Sunday's game. The St. Louis Blues take on the Avalanche for a second straight game tonight. The Blues open the season with a 4-1 win over Colorado Wednesday. Blues fans will see the debut of Mike Hoffman. The team signed him to a 1-year deal on Monday. He missed Wednesday's game while awaiting clearance for a work visa. Hoffman scored 29 goals and had 30 assists for the Florida Panthers last season. St. Louis will be without Sammy Blais tonight. Blais has been suspended 2 games for a hit to the head of Devin Taves. The puck drops tonight at 8 p.m.
Watch live local newscasts on Roku. It's as easy as searching KOMU8 and hitting Add Channel. KOMU8 News on Roku. Coverage you can count on.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, here's a look at what we're following for KOMU8 News at 10 o'clock. While the state has cleared the way for the next set of vaccinations to take place, some local counties are lagging behind. We'll take a closer look at why some areas are having a tougher time getting shots than others. That's coming up at 10. Kenton?
As expected, again, our temperatures are only within about 4 degrees of each other all day long. Our low today was 31. Our high this afternoon, 35 degrees. We're still at 34 in Columbia, 35 in Jefferson City. All of us between that 31 and 35 degree mark right now in central Missouri. Looking at live Doppler 8 first alert radar, you can see again the snow trying to come to an end, but there is still a bit of light snow and some flurries, even where you see it not showing up on radar there in that bubble. But it is all a good signifier that there is some dry air moving in. We're just going to watch that, again, last bit of snow from that last band move through late tonight, again, in that 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. hour. Here's a look at 11:30 p.m. and closer to 3 a.m. there. It's starting to move through. Just, again, a few flurries, maybe a brief snow snow shower coming by there as folks sleep. And then by 5:30 a.m., temperatures in the middle to upper 20s, and that's again going to give us a chance to see anything that's still on the ground that's not treated to then freeze over to create some slick spots potentially for tomorrow morning. Of course, we'll have more on that on KOMU 8 News today, tomorrow morning, and we'll make sure to get the latest information there. So tune in with us. 36 then on Sunday with another chance for even some flurries on Sunday, and then we should be drier heading into next week.
That's good to hear. All right, everybody, stay safe out there. That's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good evening.
Download the KOMU 8 News app and First Alert Weather app, and now stream live on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. KOMU 8 News, coverage you can count on.